What's up, everybody? Welcome to the third edition of our video mock draft presented by Between the Lines Sports. I'm your host, James Ivy Williams, founder and CEO of Between the Lines Sports, and we've got a new top 30 for you guys. And I know some of you guys have probably seen our original top 10. A few changes have been made, and I can only say that I've got the right to choose. We made a few changes going into our top 30 as we're delivering our mock draft. And just an FYI, the current order is provided to us by Tankathon as of March 16th, 2023. Also, be mindful that these are simply just our top 30. This is not necessarily where we think guys will always go. So this is not a solidified mock draft in the way that it will be towards the end of the season when we're actually sliding guys towards teams based on fit, based on styles of play, things like that. These are simply just our top 30 picks, just an FYI. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into our 3.0 mock draft presented by Between the Lines Sports. All right, at number one, we've got the Detroit Pistons taking Victor Wembanyama from Metropolitan 92 in Paris. The 7'4" center that is 19 years old has been a front runner for the number one spot since about October of last year. I think there are some people that still had other players probably slotted ahead of him, but once he solidified the number one spot back in October when he came to the States to play G League Ignite, it's been a wrap. So we've done this before. We're going to do this really quickly for Victor. 7'4", can shoot it from the perimeter, can put it on the floor, can guard multiple positions, has great recovery speed. He's a great shot blocker. He's a willing passer. And did I say he's 7'4"? Victor's a no-brainer. If you're picking at the number one spot, you take Victor Wembanyama. Plain and simple. Moving on. Number two, we've got the Houston Rockets selecting Sterling Scoot Henderson from G League Ignite. The 6'3" point guard, which is also 19 years old, has been pretty consistently slotted here at the number two spot. Scoot has done a little bit of everything. Scoot can collapse the defense. He's a great shot creator for his teammates. He's also an explosive athlete. He's a much improved defender. He's got really active hands, long arms, and he's a much improved shooter from the three-point line. He's also one of those pillar guys, in my opinion. I really think his character is going to set him apart from a lot of other people because he's pretty solid, pretty clean when it comes to character. He's one of the nicest kids that I've ever met, but also a tough kid and a kid that really wants to improve and get better. So at number two, we've got the Houston Rockets taking Sterling Scoot Henderson from G League Ignite. At number three, we've got the San Antonio Spurs taking Brandon Miller out of the University of Alabama. The 6'9" freshman forward has been the top player in college basketball pretty much all year. He is recently awarded SEC Freshman of the Year and also SEC Player of the Year. Brandon is a three-level scorer that can put the ball on the floor, can defend multiple positions, has been a much improved finisher around the rim as of late over the past 10 to 12 games. He's a really good athlete. And again, did I say he could shoot the ball from three? I don't know if I did, but he could shoot the ball from the three-point line. He also has a really good mid-range game, which he doesn't really get to show a lot at Alabama because they're more of a threes and layups kind of team, which is perfectly fine. But Brandon can do a little bit of everything. So he's got a face-up game, he can put it on the floor, finishes around the lane, athletic, shoots it from the three. At number four, we've got the Charlotte Hornets taking Jarace Walker from the University of Houston, 6'8" forward freshman. I just saw Jarace 2 days ago in Birmingham, Alabama for the first round of the NCAA tournament. And again, I know this is something that we probably harped on a lot, but he's a really big kid. But he's also got a lot of skill. He can put the ball on the floor. He has really good touch around the rim. He's an improved three-point shooter. I think he's hovering right around 40% on catch and shoots, three-point opportunities. He's also a really good passer. The issue that I think Jarace walked into was that he walked into a really solid and solidified team at the University of Houston, and he had to fit into a role, which is not bad for me because I want to see him play in a role, but I also want to see him showcase some of his skill sets, which he pretty much does on a regular basis. His touch around the rim is impeccable. His size and physique, his ability to impose his will and carve out space for himself is something that he can continue to get better at. A really good passer, can put the ball on the floor in transition, push, and he's a much improved three-point shooter. So at number four, we've got the Charlotte Hornets taking Jarace Walker from the University of Houston. At number five, we've got the Orlando Magic taking Asar Thompson from Overtime Elite City Reapers. The 6'7" small forward is going to be one of the best on-ball defenders in this draft class. He's super athletic, really mean on defense, plays the passing lanes really well, also can turn a defender. He's a willing passer, likes to get downhill in a hurry. but he has to improve his three-point shooting. Although he has improved from year to year, from last year to this year, there's still a ways to go. But my reasoning for having him here is simply because he has shown the ability to improve his jump shot overall. He also has some nice little midi game as well. I've seen him take some turnaround jumpers off the glass. I've also seen him make some really nice in between shots on pull-ups, one dribble, two dribble pull-ups. All those things bode well for Sar Thompson from Overtime Elite. And that's why we have the Orlando Magic taking him at the number 5 spot going forward. At the number 6 spot, we have the Portland Trailblazers taking Amen Thompson from Overtime Elite City Reapers, 6'7" small forward. Amen is a really good on-ball defender, gets downhill in a hurry. He's a willing passer. He's also uber athletic, really athletic. He finishes well in the lane. He needs to improve his jump shot from the three-point line and the mid-range. But I think that his ability to get downhill and attack in a hurry is something that I think is going to set him apart. I think he's really going to be explosive and impressive in transition plays. And I think that as he gets further into the league, I think his jump shot will improve. I know one thing about him is that he really wants to improve. He works in the gym a lot. He's a gym rat pretty much. So he's always in the gym. Over at Overtime Elite, I keep hearing that they have to kick him out of the gym, him and his brother. But I like the fact that he wants to get better. He takes basketball very seriously. And it's something that a lot of kids don't have at this age. A lot of guys want to be popular and be famous. Amen wants to be a really good basketball player. So I think his improvement is going to skyrocket once he gets to the NBA. So at number 6, we've got the Portland Trailblazers taking Amen Thompson from Overtime Elite. At number 7, we've got the Indiana Pacers taking Gregory G.G. Jackson from the University of South Carolina, a 6'10" forward freshman. Gregory led all freshmen in shot attempts. Wow, this is an interesting stat. While not having too many plays being called for him. So Gregory got it how he lived. So pretty much he would get it in offensive rebounds. He'd also get it in rebound pushes in transition, flashes to the basket. He found a way to create shot opportunities for himself. Gregory is probably the youngest guy in this draft class because he won't turn 19 until December. So you have to think about this. Half of his freshman year, he was 17 years old. And so doing what he did, averaging double digits in rebound in points and near double digits in rebounds as a 17-year-old was pretty impressive. He also had several really good games against high caliber teams, but Gregory has really good size. He can shoot it comfortably from the three-point line. He can put it on the floor a little bit. He's got nice touch around the rim. He can pass the ball, but I don't think that he necessarily looks to pass a lot, but he can pass the ball. He has good feel off the ball as well. So I think he's going to walk right into a role where he can be a really good role player at the next level. So at number 7, we've got the Indiana Pacers taking Gregory G.G. Jackson from the University of South Carolina. At number 8, we've got the Orlando Magic via the Chicago Bulls taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova, 6'7", small forward freshman. Cam is one of the most physically imposing wings in this draft class. He's about 215, 220 pounds, very strong kid, wide shoulders, but he's got some game. Cam can put the ball on the floor. He's got a nice step back and side step from the three-point line. He's more of a straight line driver when he's attacking the rim, though. Pretty much doing a good job attacking closeouts. He's athletic. He can finish over the top of people. He also needs to improve his passing, however. And while he has the physique, I think he does need to improve his defensive motor as well, where sometimes he kind of lacks the awareness and the attention to be a impactful defensive player. So, but I think he has the physique and the skill set to improve. So at number 8, we've got the Orlando Magic taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova. At number 9, we've got the Washington Wizards taking Keontae George from Baylor, 6'4" combo guard. Keontae is probably one of the best shot creators and shot makers in this draft class. He's got a really good frame, so typically guards and wings don't necessarily bother him when he's getting his shot off. He takes a lot of contested shots, but I think his strength and physique also allow him to make those tough shots. He has really good footwork. So he allows himself to create space, maybe not necessarily off the dribble per se, but more so with his footwork and shot to create space with side steps, step backs, things like that, step throughs, things like that. He has really good footwork. So if you watch him closer, you'll see that his footwork is probably his most impressive skill set as an offensive player after his ability to make shots. So he needs to improve his as a passer. Again, he can pass the ball, but I think he's more of a shot maker first, but he has the ability to make really good passes. And at this point, what we really want for someone like him is to simply make the right read as opposed to being a guy that facilitates and passes guys open. Somebody just make the right pass. If you're double, find the open guy, you'll get the ball back to you. The ball has energy and it'll always find its way back to you. I think Keontae definitely has to improve as a defensive player. And it's not that he can't do it. I think it's just more so desire and will to do it. And I think as he moves forward and gets to the next level, he'll have to make that a priority if he wants to stay on the court in the NBA. So at number 9, we've got the Washington Wizards taking Keontae George. At number 10, we've got the New Orleans Pelicans taking Anthony Black from the University of Arkansas, 6'7" guard forward freshman. Anthony is the primary ball handler for Arkansas. Anthony can make every pass. So he has point guard skills in a small forward's body. So Anthony can make every pass, and he's probably one of the best defenders in this draft class as well. Anthony's a really good defensive player. He plays with a high motor. He gets over screens. He can test shots. He chases guys around picks. He has really good active hands as an on-ball defender. He plays the passing lanes really well. Offensively, he doesn't necessarily like to shoot the ball from the perimeter, but he can get downhill in a hurry. His jump shot isn't something that he puts a stamp on right now. I think it can improve. His form isn't bad. It's more of a push shot. He needs to get a little bit more elevation, in my opinion, off his shot. And I think that will improve. But I think once he gets to the next level, obviously, even in pre-draft stuff, I think you'll see some signs of improvement from his jump shot overall. So at number 10, we've got the New Orleans Pelicans taking Anthony Black from the University of Arkansas. At number 11, we've got the Utah Jazz taking Cason Wallace from the University of Kentucky, 6'3" point guard, freshman. Cason is probably the best on-ball defender for the point guard position in the draft right now. He's also shooting from the three-point line right around 40%, if I'm not mistaken. Cason also is an explosive athlete, gets downhill in a hurry, gets off the ground quickly, has nice pop, also can pass, makes really good reads. Not necessarily an elite passer by any stretch, but makes really good reads, collapses the defense, find open guys, gets the ball swinging, which is great for offense, getting that for especially in the NBA, which will ultimately lead to either a attacking a closeout or an open three in the corner. Cason has been a little inconsistent this year because he's been hurt several times. So when I saw him in person a couple of months ago, he was kind of hobbled on his knee, so he didn't move very well. But I think when healthy, Cason is explosive. He's an explosive athlete. He shoots it well from the three, can guard the perimeter, and is a willing passer. So there's a lot to like about Cason Wallace. And I think he also can guard multiple positions. While he's really good on-ball defender at the point guard position, he's also strong enough and long enough to guard twos and some threes in some cases. So I think he's going to be a multi-dimensional defender, and his ability to shoot and get downhill are going to be two things that allow him to stay on the court in the NBA. So we've got the Utah Jazz taking Cason Wallace at number 11. At number 12, we've got the Toronto Raptors taking Gradey Dick, 6'7" small forward from Kansas, freshman. Grady's claim to fame right now is his ability to shoot the ball from the three-point line. He's really good on catch and shoot opportunities, has good range, can shoot over the top of smaller defenders, and he's a sneaky athlete. He also can attack closeouts, and on an attack of a closeout, if you're not careful, he's going to catch your body. He also is a really good team defender. I wouldn't say he's a great on-ball defender right now, but I think he uses his size and length well in team operations, and I don't think he's a guy that you can necessarily pick on either because he is athletic and he is long. But I think as an off-ball defender, he's going to be really good, help side, length, athleticism. Like I said, he'll play the passing lanes really well. And I think every now and then you'll see on-ball steals, and on the other side, some nice transition threes and some, impressive finishes around the rim. So at number 12, we've got Gradey Dick going to the Toronto Raptors. At number 13, we've got the Los Angeles Lakers taking Nick Smith Jr. from the University of Arkansas. Nick is about a 6'4", 6'5" combo guard, freshman. He's been a little inconsistent due to injury, primarily for the year. He started off the season hurt, had another injury in the middle of the season, and he's just kind of come back over the past 4 or 5 games. He didn't have a great game in his first NCAA tournament, but a lot of freshmen don't. But Nick has the ability to create shots. He's a rhythm shooter. He's a 3-level scorer, so he really can get his shot off at the three-point line really well. Can also make some nice in-between shots in the mid-range. He's got a nice floater game. He also moves well without the ball. He's a tenacious rim attacker, so he gets downhill in a hurry, and he seeks out contact. So a guy that's kind of slight of frame, he seeks out contact, which is rare, which a lot of people love. I love that about him, to be honest. He's also a willing passer. He makes the right reads. It's not pretty, but he makes the right reads, and he'll get shots for his teammates. So all that being said, Nick Smith going to the Los Angeles Lakers at number 13. At number 14, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder taking Jalen Hood-Schifino from Indiana. 6'7" point guard, freshman. Jalen is one of our surprises, in my opinion, because I didn't expect this so fast. But Jalen has really good size at 6'6". He's got a nice mid-range going right or going left. He's a really good passer in pick and roll action. He can throw the lob pass. He can throw the over the head hook pass. He can make every pass as a point guard. And again, did I say he has really good size at 6'6", about 205 pounds, really good size. So he's not going to get bullied on the perimeter. He can guard multiple positions. The only knock on him that he probably isn't the best athlete. I think he's just an average athlete, but his size and his skill set will make up for his lack of athleticism, in my opinion. And so at number 14, we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder taking Jalen Hood-Schifino. At number 15, we've got the Atlanta Hawks taking Taylor Hendricks from UCF, 6'9" freshman forward. Taylor is probably one of the biggest surprises in the freshman class. Taylor is probably the most consistent three-point shooter from the forward/center position. He's also got really good recovery speed and timing as a shot blocker, especially as a help side shot blocker. Can also attack the rim a little bit off the dribble, but I think more so he's going to be a pick and pop or a trail shooter, a really good shot blocker and help side opportunities. He probably needs to improve his lateral quickness because we know in the NBA there's going to be a lot of pick and rolls, and they're trying to get switches on bigs to smalls and smalls to bigs. So he will have to continue to improve his lateral quickness, which I think he can do. But I think as he gets older and matures a little bit more, I think he's going to fit right into the modern NBA as a stretch four and can really do a lot of damage in trail three positions and pick and pop positions, and also as a shot blocker on the other end. At number 15, we've got the Atlanta Hawks taking Taylor Hendricks from UCF. At number 16, we've got the Utah Jazz via the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Dariq Whitehead from Duke, 6'6" small forward, freshman. Dariq was one of my favorite guys coming out of high school because he just played like a professional, in my opinion. He's nothing's flashy or sexy about his game. He's just solid at everything. He can shoot the ball from three. He can put the ball on the floor. He's a willing passer. He can defend multiple positions. He rebounds well for his position. He's not going to get bullied. He's a decent athlete. Dariq's like the perfect piece, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people are looking for stars, but I think a lot more people need pieces to build around stars. And I think he's going to be the perfect kind of piece to build around a star because he can make an open shot. He can defend multiple positions. He can rebound. He can pass. He can put the ball on the floor. There's really not anything to dislike about Dariq other than he's been a little inconsistent this year, but that has also been due to injury. So I think if he stays healthy, I think he walks right into the NBA as a guy that you can kind of plug and play. So at number 16, we've got the Utah Jazz via the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Dariq Whitehead from Duke. At number 17, we've got the New York Knicks via the Dallas Mavericks taking Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine, 6'7" small forward junior. I think this is our first upperclassman in the first round. So Maxwell Lewis is a really good wing, in my opinion. He can put the ball on the floor, can shoot it from the three-point line. He also has a nice little mid-range game. He can go into the post a little bit if you put somebody small on him, take him down to that mid-post area, shoot turnarounds. He's also got touch around the rim. He has to improve as a passer. I don't think that he makes really good reads as a passer. I think he doesn't recognize when doubles are coming. And even when they do come, I think he tries to force shots as opposed to just making the right read and getting off the ball and trying to get it back. I think as a defender, he has to just lock in on the defensive end. He carried the load for Pepperdine the entire season. And so it's one of those things that I think he rested a lot on defense, or they tried to hide him a little bit just so he can retain some of his energy for the offensive side of the ball. But I think he has to lock in and be determined that he wants to play defense. And I think that will allow him to stay on the court. I think his offensive skill sets are really good, must improve as a passer, but he also must improve as a defender. So at number 17, we've got the New York Knicks taking Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine. At number 18, we've got the Golden State Warriors taking Noah Clowney from the University of Alabama, 6'10" power forward freshman. Noah's another surprise for some people, but Noah is a guy that also can stretch the floor as a shooter and pick and pop and trail opportunities. He really can guard on the perimeter. He moves his feet laterally really well. I think that he can contain a ball handler for one or two dribbles, in my opinion. He's also a really good shot blocker and an active rebounder. Noah has really good length. I think that his ability to defend multiple positions, knock down a three, he also runs the floor really well. He'll be a great rim runner, has really good hands, finishes around the rim. So there's a lot to like about Noah at the number 18 spot going to the Golden State Warriors. At number 19, we've got the Houston Rockets via the LA Clippers taking Chris Murray from Iowa, 6'8" power forward junior. Just saw him the other day as well in Birmingham. He didn't have a great game this game, but I think Chris just does a lot of things well. I think he's a combo forward in my opinion. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit, but I think he's more of a stretch. Also, he has decent size at 6'8", but can really shoot the ball from the 3-point line. He runs the floor really well. He has really good feel. He has really good feel as a passer, and he moves well without the ball. The ball's never going to stick. I think he's going to shoot it, dribble it, or pass it. I think that's what he's going to do. I think he has the ability to guard multiple positions. I don't think that he's necessarily an uber athlete, but I think he's a decent athlete in my opinion. I think he has to work on also his lateral quickness as well. But I think that his ability to guard and defend multiple positions is what is going to be a calling card for him. And then his ability to shoot the ball and having a good feel and making sure the ball doesn't stick. So at number 19, we've got the Houston Rockets taking Chris Murray from Iowa. At number 20, we've got the Miami Heat taking Jalen Wilson from Kansas, 6'8" forward, senior. This is our first senior in the first round, and I think Jalen kind of actually fits well with Miami really well. He's a tough kid. He's much improved. He's gotten better every year at Kansas. He tested the water last year in the NBA Combine. He got some feedback, and he improved his shot from the 3-point line. He improved his body a little bit, so he looks a lot more cut, a lot more chiseled. He rebounds the ball well. He can guard on the perimeter. He runs the floor. He's a willing passer. It's one of those things I think guys coming from Kansas that stay a little bit longer actually really coming to the NBA ready to play. And I think Jalen has a lot to work with. His much improved shot. So that shows me that he's going to continue to get better. He's also improved his body, which also tells me that he takes this very seriously. So those are all things that I like about Jalen Wilson going to the Miami Heat at number 20. At number 21, we've got the Brooklyn Nets via the Phoenix Suns taking Kobe Jones from Xavier, 6'6", small forward, junior. Kobe's another one of my glue guys. He does a little bit of everything well. He rebounds the ball. He can push in transition. He can make an open three. He's a willing passer. He guards multiple positions. He's got good sizes and frame at 6'6", about 200 pounds. And again, he can make an open jumper. So I think that his ability to defend multiple positions, shoot the ball from three. He also can create a little bit for himself off the dribble. I wouldn't say he's a great creator, but I think he can get downhill and finish in the lane. He has good touch around the rim also. So at 6'6", good size, can shoot it well, can defend multiple positions. He rebounds the ball well. He's a willing passer. He has a knack for just doing all the right things as a basketball player. Kobe Jones at number 21 going to the Brooklyn Nets from Xavier. At number 22, we've got the Brooklyn Nets taking Imani Bates from Eastern Michigan, 6'9", small forward, second-year freshman, transferred to Eastern Michigan. And while their team didn't have a great season, Imani showed his ability to make and take big shots. I think that's what he's going to be. He's going to be a shot maker, 6'9", small forward, power forward. He can hit shots. That's what he can do. And we all know that if you can make shots and or defend, and if you can do both of them, you can stay on the court. Imani can make shots. He's got good size at 6'9". He's going to have to commit to playing defense, though. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit, but I don't think that it's one of his calling cards. I think he's going to be more of a pick and pop trail, catch and shoot, 3-point shooter, in my opinion. Attack a closeout, get to the rim, finish around the rim. He's got good touch in the mid-range as well, but I wouldn't say that was his claim to fame either. I would just say that his ability to take shots, deep shots from the 3-point line is what's going to be his calling card, but he has to improve as a rebounder, a defender, and a passer. So he's got a lot of things to work on. But at 22, I think this is a safe pick for the Brooklyn Nets because he can improve. I think that if he does, he'll grow into becoming a much better basketball player overall. So at 22, the Brooklyn Nets taking Imani Bates. At number 23, we've got the Portland Trail Blazers via the New York Knicks taking Traquavion Smith from NC State, 6'3" point guard, sophomore. Traquavion is another one of these guys that is pretty much a shot creator and a shot maker. He has good range from the 3-point line. He can put it on the floor and create for himself. He can get downhill. He's athletic for his size at 6'3". He's slight of frame, although he does not shy away from contact. He actually seeks it out. Another thing, as a defender, he's very feisty and active as a defender. He gets over screens. He's poking at the ball. He's going to make it hard for anybody that he's guarding to get by him or put the ball on the floor in front of him without him making some sort of contact with the ball. But his claim to fame right now is that he can create shots for himself and he can shoot the ball with the range from the 3-point line. He's also a really good passer. I wouldn't say he's an elite passer, but he's averaging about 5 assists a game this season at NC State. Makes all the right reads, in my opinion. I think he just finds guys. He's not passing guys open. He just makes the correct read, which is, I think, a good sign as he moves forward to the next level. Make the right read, get off the ball, get it back. If you're open, shoot it. If you're not, get off of it. And I think he does that very well. The Portland Trail Blazers taking Traquavion Smith from NC State at number 23. At number 24, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies taking Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State. 6'6", shooting guard, small forward, freshman. Bryce can make shots. That's what he does well. Mid-range stuff, three-pointers, finishes through contact. He can put the ball on the floor. He creates for himself. He's not necessarily a really good defender or rebounder, and he probably needs to improve his passing as well. But I think his ability to make shots and create shots for himself is what's going to be his calling card. I think his size is something that I think maybe isn't a hindrance, to be honest, or his frame isn't a hindrance, because I think people probably are not so worried about him, and then he busts their butt for 25, 30 or whatever it'll be. I think his ability to create shots and create space for himself is what's his claim right away. Shoots it well from three, shoots it well in the mid-range, can finish through contact well. You're not going to bother him at all when he's shooting the ball, whether it's a jumper or in the lane. You're not bothering him at all. He's going to get his shot off to how he wants to, and I think that's a mature style of game that he has. He just has to improve as a passer, rebounder, and a defender, which I think he can do all those things well. So at number 24, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies taking Bryce Sensabaugh from Ohio State. At number 25, we've got the Sacramento Kings taking Sidy Cissoko from the G League Ignite. 6'6", 6'7", small forward, power forward, 18 years old. Sidy's one of those guys that just knows how to play basketball. He's been playing at a high level for a very long time in Europe, and then he came over to G League Ignite. And if you watch him, you're not going to be wowed away by numbers, but he's a really good basketball player. He makes the right read all the time. In my opinion, he's a really good passer. He finishes well around the rim. He makes cuts. He makes the right read. He rebounds well for his position. He rebounds out of his area. He has to improve his jump shot from the three-point line, but I think everything else he pretty much does well. He's solid. So Sidy Cissoko from the G League Ignite going to the Sacramento Kings at number 25. At number 26, we've got the Indiana Pacers via the Cleveland Cavaliers taking Kobe Buffkin from Michigan, 6'4" combo guard, sophomore. This is a first surprise for you guys pretty much, because he wasn't even on our board last month. He might have been in the top 100, but I can't remember for certain. But my guys pushed him really hard. Several of my guys have seen him in person, and they were really high on him. And mind you, we start our mock draft prep on the first of every month, and they really like his ability to create shots for himself. He's got good size at 6'4", gets downhill, has nice floater, touching the lane, finishes around the rim really well, can pass the ball a little bit also. He's a good defender, but I don't think he's great. I think he's more so capable of being a really good team defender, but has the size to guard multiple positions on the wing, probably at least ones and twos, and maybe some three if he gets a little stronger. But my guys and I like Kobe Buffkin from the University of Michigan going to the Indiana Pacers at number 26. At number 27, we've got the Charlotte Hornets via the Denver Nuggets taking Dereck Lively II from Duke University, 7'1" center, freshman. Derek's numbers aren't going to wow a lot of people, but Derek's potential as a rim running, shot blocking big is something that is just so impressive. Also, active rebounder. Derek's really kind of gotten comfortable as of late, maybe the last 10 or 12 games at Duke. He runs the floor really well, has really good hands, finishes around the rim, an elite shot blocker and an elite rebounder. I think Derek is going to also surprise some people as a three-point shooter as well. I think Derek has the ability to knock down, catch and shoot threes, trail threes, even corner threes. I think we may have him a little too low. I think once he gets into draft workouts, I think he may shoot up some boards. In the NBA, it is transition and pick and roll. Derek's going to be a really good pick and roll player as a lob threat. He can turn into something like DeAndre Jordan from previous years, even some JaVale McGee stuff with the Warriors as of late. So at number 27, we've got the Charlotte Hornets taking Dereck Lively II from Duke. At 28, we've got the Utah Jazz via the Philadelphia 76ers taking Jett Howard from Michigan, 6'8" forward freshman. Jett's a shot maker, in my opinion. I think he can shoot the ball at all three levels really well. He has good size around 6'7", 6'8". He's a really good catch and shoot shooter. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit, get into the mid-range, finishes around the rim, but I don't necessarily think he wants to attack the rim that much. I think he wants to play in the mid-range and from the three-point line, in my opinion, as an offensive player. He has to improve as a defender. I think that's his biggest weakness right now, is that he does not want to play defense, or he does not seem to want to play defense, which is surprising because the University of Michigan and his father, Juwan Howard, are sticklers about defense. So I think he needs to improve as a defensive player first. He also needs to improve as a rebounder, and also he must improve as a passer as well. I think he wants to shoot the ball, or he wants to try to get off of it to get it back so he can shoot the ball later. But Jett's ability to score for himself and create shots for himself is something that I think is going to allow him to get on courts. He has good size, a good frame, obviously, but he must improve as a defender to get consistent minutes at the next level. At number 29, we've got the Indiana Pacers via the Boston Celtics, taking Leonard Miller from G League Ignite, 6'10", power forward, 19 years old. Leonard's one of those guys that is just intriguing because he kind of plays in an unorthodox style. He's kind of herky-jerky a little bit. One of my guys kind of pointed out to me, and it was very obvious and blatant when I noticed it. He kind of plays with a herky-jerky style, which is not a bad thing. It actually kind of keeps guys off balance, which allows him to be a little bit more effective. He can shoot the ball from the three-point line. He's got a little push shot right now, so he must improve his form and how he gets his shot off. But he does a lot of things well. He rebounds well, rebounds out of position really well. He kind of taps the ball and gets his hands on the ball. If he touches the ball more often than not, he's going to secure it. He moves well off the ball. He finishes well around the rim. He also is a really good defender. He can defend multiple positions. He can rebound and push in transition. He's a good passer. He's got a lot to work with. I think the one thing that he needs to improve the most is just his three-point shooter and his jump shot mechanics. But I think once that happens, I think Leonard's going to be a really good pickup for the Indiana Pacers at number 29. And at number 30, last but not least, we've got the Los Angeles Clippers via the Milwaukee Bucks, taking Jordan Hawkins from UConn, 6'5" shooting guard, sophomore. Jordan's one of those guys he's a really good shot maker, in my opinion. He can make it from the three-point line, off the dribble, off the catch, in transition, in the half court. He can get to the mid-range. He likes attacking the baselines, making pull-ups, going right and going left. And he can finish in the lane a little bit. He doesn't necessarily seek out contact the way I would want him to, but it's not that he's afraid to do so. I think he actually does better just at getting guys retreating, and he stops on a dime and pulls up for a mid-range jumper. He can pass the ball a little bit, so I think he can play on or off the ball as a 1 or a 2, or a 2 as a 1, in my opinion. But he's also a decent defender as well. He actually is active with his hands, plays the pass lanes really well, wants to get out in transition for some easy layups and dunks, in my opinion. But I think he's a little slight of frame also. A lot of these guys they're not finished products by any stretch, but he needs to improve his body and improve his willingness to play defense. But I think Jordan Hawkins at number 30 going to the Los Angeles Clippers is a great pickup because he can flat out score the ball, and he's got good size at 6'5". So guys, that is it. That is 1 through 30 of our mock draft 3.0. You can go see the entire mock draft at our website, www.btlhoops.org. Follow us on Instagram at BTLHoops. Follow us on Twitter at BTLHoops. And stay tuned for more content. Also, just an FYI and a precursor. Next month is going to be our mock draft 4.0, which is going to be completely done by the staff. I will have no say. I will not make any adjustments. I will not alter anybody's picks, anybody's placements. This will be all on our staff for them to complete by themselves. I will only post it. I may even let them do the video themselves next month as well. So just be on the lookout for that. They're really excited about it. I'm really excited to see where they will put guys. But until then, stay tuned for more content. Follow us again at BTL Hoops on both Instagram and Twitter, and visit the website www.btlhoops.org. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.